Hi, I'm Unruly with an unruly anime recap. Today's recap will be of the 22 anime Chainsaw Man. The story begins with a boy named Denji who wakes up in a small shed in the woods. He heads to town, thinking about how to make more money. He thinks about how he can make 60,000 yen a month by cutting down trees. He also recently sold his kidney for 1.2 million and his right eye for 300,000. However, despite all of that, we find out that Denji still owes over 38 million yen. He is with his devil companion, Pochita, who is ready to fight as they had to kill a devil. The feeding devils is a good job since a dead devil can be sold for 300,000. Shortly after we see Denji on top of the devil he defeated, a man appears, telling him that the devil can be sold for a lot of money on the black market. He tells Denji that he'll pay him 400,000, but after various finder's fees and interest from his debt, Denji is left with a measly 70,000. Denji needs to pay bills with most of the money and only has enough money for a slice of bread. Two men sit in a car nearby, watching Denji. The driver asked why the man hires Denji to defeat devils instead of real devil hunters. The man replies that Denji has a huge debt to his dad and is very loyal. He also explains that real devil hunters don't get people from the Yakuza devil caucuses. One of the men offers Denji 100 yen to eat his cigarette. Denji quickly agrees and puts it in his mouth since he needs the money. They warn Denji that if he ran away from his debt, they would still find him. Back at the shed, Denji dreams of having a normal life, like having jam on bread. He doubts that he'll ever find a girlfriend and pay off all the debt. It flashes back to the past, when Denji was at his dad's grave. The man from earlier tells young Denji that his father left him his debt before passing away. Denji sees the wild devil and decides he would let it end his life, but quickly realizes the devil is hurt. Denji then offers the devil his blood to heal him in return for his help. Denji proves his worth to the Yakuza by defeating a devil with Pochita. Denji struggles to sleep because of his hunger and worries about money. He begins to cough up blood, just like his mom, who had a heart disease. The man tells Denji it is time to eliminate the devil and drives him to the site. As they arrive in the warehouse, Denji looks around but doesn't see any devils. Shortly after, the man thanks Denji for his work, and we see Denji and Pochita pierced by a sword. We find out that the man in the Yakuza made a deal with the devil. The devil soon reveals himself as the zombie devil. He mocks the Yakuza for becoming his slaves for some of his demonic powers. The devil hates all devil hunters and wants to get rid of them all. A wounded Denji tries to escape from the horde of zombies but is finally caught by one of them. The zombies overwhelmed Denji and mortally wounded him. We see the blood from the dismembered Denji flow into Pochita's mouth. Pochita wakes up and recalls the past of Denji, telling him of his dreams of living a normal life. He tells Pochita to take over his body if he dies, so at least he can live a normal life. Denji is reattached and healed by Pochita. He is awakened and hears Pochita tell him that he loved it when Denji would share his dreams. Pochita offered Denji his own heart so that Denji could make his dreams of a normal life come true. The zombie devil is surprised that Denji is still alive and orders his zombie slaves to finish him off. Denji pulls on Pochita's cord, which has become a part of him, before the zombies jump him. A buzzing sound becomes louder as the zombies pile on and
my back!
Denji transforms into a chainsaw devil and tackles the zombie devil, injuring his eye. He then flings Denji away and begins to toss zombies at him.
It hurts! Stay away! Move! Get back! Don't come any closer! Don't you dare budge from that spot!
The zombie devil becomes scared as Denji defeats the zombies and gets closer and closer.
Stay where you are, you freak! Go away!
Denji defeats the zombie devil and finishes off all the remaining zombies. The next day, a group of public safety devil hunters arrives. Their leader, Makima, hugs Denji, and this causes him to revert back to his human form. She offers to keep Denji alive as a human and feed him, much to his delight. In the car, Denji introduces himself. Makima tells Denji that he is in her care and needs to listen to her. She gives him her coat since he is shirtless. She states that she'll pay for his food since his stomach crumbles loudly. Her acts of kindness and attractive looks make Denji fall for her. At the food stall, they order some food, but Denji almost falls but is caught by her. He explains that using the chainsaws causes him to be low on blood. He feels sad thinking about how Pochita died for his sake. Makima tells him that she has a keen nose and smells Pochita alive within him. Despite hearing about his unusual situation, she tells him she believes him. He is happy to hear that Pochita is still alive within him. She feeds him the udon noodles like a dog. He asked her what type of guy she likes, to which she replied guys like Denji. Denji is happy to hear her words as he is brought to the Devil Hunters headquarters. She explains that there are over 1,000 Devil Hunters and that they offer great benefits. She gives him his uniform and introduces him to a senior co-worker named Aki. He will be shadowing Aki to learn the job. Denji is upset that he won't be with Makima, but she tells him that may change one day if he does well. Aki brings Denji to an alleyway and begins to beat him up. He tells Denji to quit the job since he will likely be killed by devils. Denji becomes upset, knocks Aki down, and repeatedly kicks him. He tells him that he doesn't mind getting killed if he gets to continue living a normal life. Aki fights back and tells him that he should leave Makima alone. Denji kicks him between the legs again and knocks him out. They return to Makima, and she thinks they are getting along well. She tells him that he will be joining Aki's team and that Denji can transform into a devil. She also states that if Denji tries to resign, he will be disposed of as a devil. After Denji and Aki leave, Aki reveals to him that Makima saved his life. Before, Denji stays with Aki and enjoys various different jams. He's still getting used to living a normal life. Later on, they arrive at a crime scene, and the police tell them that there is a fiend on the second floor. A fiend is when the devil takes control of a human corpse. They are unlike Denji because they have a devil's head and characteristics. Instead of using his powers to defeat the fiend, Denji uses his axe. He tells Aki that he wants to make it painless for him, but this upsets Aki. This is because Aki's entire family was killed in front of him by a devil. Denji tells him that he would be friends with a devil if he could. Since he has no friends, Aki becomes speechless and leaves the room. Denji is happy, thinking that he is living out his dreams of a normal life. Back at the base, Makima signs a fiend to be Denji's partner. The girl enters the room and introduces herself as Power. Denji and Power are sent to patrol the city for devils. The police find them suspicious but leave them after Denji shows them his new badge. It is revealed that before Power became a fiend, she was the devil that was feared by other devils. Denji understands why they were having trouble finding devils while patrolling. He thinks Aki knew this and paired them up to get him fired. Power gets excited as she smells the scent of blood. She runs after the scent and jumps towards the nearby devil. Using her powers, she forms a hammer to quickly defeat the devil, causing a huge mess. Makima arrives on the scene shortly after. Power seems scared of Makima, blames Denji, to which he quickly states she is lying. Power states that devils do not like to lie like humans do. They get into an argument, which is stopped by Makima. Later that day, Denji's happy from drinking juice from a can since he only dreamed of it before. Power reveals to him that she likes to be with cats but despises humans and devils. She follows orders to one day save her cat from a devil, which Denji thinks is stupid. His tone quickly changes when she attempts to give him a chance to fondle her. If he helps her save her cat, they head out to find the devil who has her cat. Denji doesn't like her but keeps his eye on the prize. In the car, Makima explains to Aki that devils are born with names. They become more powerful the more their names are feared. Aki still doubts Denji's usefulness. Denji and Power arrive at the house where the devil and her cat are. Denji states that he hopes he doesn't have to transform into a chainsaw. Denji senses something is wrong and is knocked out by the power. She drags him inside for the bat devil to devour. The devil shows his missing arm, caused by humans, and attempts to heal himself by drinking his blood. The devil thinks Denji's blood tastes bad and tosses him. Power demands the devil release her cat, since they had a deal. However, he devours the cat. Since Denji's blood tastes bad, it flashes back to when Power first met her cat and wanted to fatten the cat to eat it. After spending time together, she became attached to the cat, but it was kidnapped by the bat devil. He would release the cat if she brought him a human. Power becomes saddened to see her cat eaten and ends up being eaten as well. The Bat Devil flies away, but Denji grabs a hold of him. Denji thinks about how Power felt as he recalls his time living with his friend Pochita. He pulls the cord and transforms into a devil. He slices off the Bat Devil's arm, and they begin to fall. Denji fights the Bat Devil while trying to keep the civilians safe. He throws a car at the Bat Devil, but the Bat Devil responds by blasting a powerful sound wave at him. The Bat Devil is about to devour a man to heal himself. However, it is surprising to see that Denji is still alive. Denji becomes serious and uses his chainsaws to finally finish off the giant Bat Devil. The scene ends with the devil's blood raining from the sky. As a flashback of Power's life before the Public Safety Bureau plays, we see how she spent her days consuming animal after animal, with Mioi being her only companion. When the Bat Devil captured Mioi, that was the first time Power truly realized how much she'd come to care for the cat and why she loved blood so much. Back in the present, she awakens to Denji lifting her up, having dug her out of the guts of the now dead Bat Devil. Since he's delivered on his end of the deal they previously made, Power informs him that he's earned the right to fondle her oranges. God help me, this is the craziest protagonist I've ever seen. Back on track, Denji celebrates the reward he's earned. Another devil appears and shoots his arm off. This new devil, with the appearance of a tentacle-bearing leech, reveals herself to be the partner of the Bat Devil, stating that while she's ready to spare Denji's life as she finds him cute, Power and Mioi will die. Unwilling to accept this, Denji pulls on his cord, trying to release his chainsaws, but it doesn't work. All that pops out is a mini chainsaw from his forehead because he lost too much blood against the bat. Despite his lack of any real weapon, Denji uses his superhuman agility and strength to dodge most of the leech's attacks.
Have it your way. Ciao!
All for the sake of a group?
Dancing around them with a strange grace, empowering himself through the attacks that he does end up taking, despite doing a lot of damage to the devil with perseverance alone, at one point even using the bat's spilled intestines to trip her up.
If you beat me in a dream battle, then you can do whatever the hell you want!
Eventually Denji's body gives out, and he finds himself piercing its stomach. Moments away from being eaten, Aki appears and summons the fox demon, decapitating the leech and saving Denji.
Calm.
Later, Denji wakes up in a hospital bed, with Aki watching over him and beginning to grill him about how he and Power actually ended up in such a situation. Despite her betrayal, Denji protects Power and refuses to get her in trouble. Aki accepts this under the condition that Denji listens to him from now on and leaves to get his report to Makima over at the bureau. The next morning, as Aki goes through his usual morning routine at his apartment, preparing a cup of coffee and heading out to the balcony, Denji wakes up as well, retrieving every jam available from the fridge to have some breakfast. The two seem to have adapted to being roommates quite well. After finishing his chores, Aki is preparing for lunch when Power arrives at the apartment and blows the doorknob off almost instantly to get in, declaring that she will be bunking with them from now on, with the fiend being even more filthy and uncooperative than Denji was. The two men find themselves on the same page for once, constantly having to berate Power for her actions. From flinging around food, she doesn't like to flush the toilet and refusing to take a bath, despite stinking. They'll be at their wits' end before long. However, to Denji, it all seems to have been totally worth it. When Power enters the bathroom, he's cleaning, and she takes a seat on the toilet. She informs him that he may now have 3 squeezes of her boobs that he earned. Oh boy. Episode 5. Denji is overjoyed at finally being able to touch some boobs. As he goes forth for his first of 3 squeezes, he finds the Power, uses pads to make herself look bigger than she is, but goes on with his remaining squeezes anyway. As she leaves, though, he comes to a disturbing realization. It didn't even feel that good. Practically in shock ever since the situation in the bathroom, Denji has had a distant look in his eyes and a vacant expression throughout his daily duties. Over at the bureau, where Makima is teaching him how to get his paperwork done, she notices this and asks him what's wrong. When Denji explains the situation and his frustration at the thought that pursuing something will always make him happier than actually achieving it, Makima does something he never would have expected, taking his hand in hers, biting his finger, and having him grab her boob. She simultaneously makes a request and makes promises to him as she explains the origin of the gun devil and how sought after he is by devil hunters. She asked him to dedicate himself to finding and defeating this devil, vowing that as long as he fulfilled this task, she would grant him any wish he has. You'll already know Denji. The second he hears this, he's already made it his new life goal, deciding that he'll absolutely be the one to kill Gun Devil no matter what. After a short flashback that shows us a scene from Oki's past while Makima explains the need to collect pieces of Gun Devil to find him, we shift to a hotel parking lot where Oki's Devil Hunter division has arrived, seeking a devil with a bullet piece within it. Himeno, the senior member, Koban, Arai, Aki, Denji, and Power. The 6 members discuss a reward for getting the kill on this devil when Himeno offers up a kiss for the winner, with Arai horrified by her being so callous and Denji rushing in with his motivation renewed. Himeno and Aki follow behind while discussing the new recruit's chances of survival. As they venture further into the hotel on the 8th floor, they are met with a severed head with 2 feet attached to it that rushes towards them, terrifying Koban, who has absolutely zero courage or confidence. Himeno quickly freezing the devil using her contracted devil ghost. Himeno allows Power to get the kill with a blood knife, with the hunters heading further up to find the other devil that must be there since this one didn't have a gun devil piece. Something very frightening comes to pass, which none of them can make any sense of. They are stuck in some sort of loop, which lands them right back on the 8th floor. No matter where they go upstairs or downstairs, everything leads back right to the 8th floor hallway. Episode 6. When the group sees that no matter which way they go on the stairs, they just end up right back on the 8th floor hallway they left, they begin looking for a way to escape, or at the very least help them understand just what the hell is going on. Aki enters one of the rooms and goes through its window, when he sees an identical room on the other side, only to exit the hole once again from the room opposite the one he entered. Denji shows up and makes the same discovery. The hunters all regroup in one of the hotel rooms and go over everything they know about the situation. Again, realizing they are in some sort of loop caused by whatever devil they are here to hunt. While Arai is hopeful that when the bureau realizes they've been gone too long, they'll send another devil hunter. Himeno point out that they better hope those hunters don't fall into the same trap that they have. All the while, Koban is having a complete and utter nervous breakdown, exposing the fact that her parents only see her as a source of money to send her brother to university and crying her heart out at the idea that she's going to end up dying right here. But Power just finds the faces she's making absolutely hilarious and can't control her laughter. Aki, meanwhile, has realized something that makes their situation seem even more hopeless. All the clocks on this floor have been frozen at the same time for quite a while now. They are trapped not just on this floor but in time as well. With this latest revelation, they can rule out any chance of other hunters being sent for them either, which means they will either find a way out on their own, or they actually die here, like Koban's afraid of. Denji, the carefree idiot, just takes this news as an excuse to sleep as much as he wants in one of the beds since it won't matter anyway with time frozen. Later, Himeno wakes up Denji and explains what everyone else is up to, telling him they have to keep watch over Arai and Koban, who have closed themselves in a room. Drowning in their despair, Aki walks into the room the three are keeping watch over the others by, telling them that the devil they encountered before is still alive somehow, and it's getting bigger and bigger. When they hear the crash of a door being ripped off its hinges, the four hunters rush into the hall, only to see the devil now taking up the whole width of the hallway and growing further with time. While the hunters stand and watch in disgust, the devil with several faces begins making demands in a heavily distorted voice, stating that it will make a contract with them to release everyone under the condition that they let it eat Denji. Surprisingly, Koban is the one who comes out of a room upon hearing this and rushes forward wielding a knife in an attempt to kill Denji and accept the devil's contract, quickly being neutralized by Aki, who kicks her knife away and Himeno elbows her gut, dropping her to the floor. Koban lies defeated while everyone else tries their own methods of harming the devil. Oki's summoning fails since they are in a different dimension than normal, but Himeno's ghost is easily able to pop some of the devil's heads. Unfortunately, all this does is make the creature grow even further. The hunters then argue over whether they should just accept the contract or not, with Aki being firmly on Denji's side while Power and Arai are in favor of handing him over. As more time passes, Koban grows more and more out of her mind, losing herself in fear and despair, providing the devil with even more power and causing it to grow at a ridiculous speed through the hallway, forcing everyone to flee onto a ledge that appears to be the elevator shaft. While both Arai and Koban struggle with their fear, they come together and attempt to take Denji's life when Aki jumps in to protect him, taking a knife right into the side of his body. Seeing no other way to save Aki, Denji decides that if for no other reason than to settle this debt to Aki, he'll offer himself up to the devil on his oath.
I can't believe you covered me. Mind your own business next time, dickhead. I'm through owing anybody anything. No more debts for me. Once you're out of here, you and me are even Steven!
Denji pulls his cord and jumps towards the Eternity Devil. He fights him, slashing and cutting everything he could see, but he also receives injuries from the devil, who adds that it's pointless to cut him as his heart isn't there. Power adds that if Denji keeps losing blood, his chainsaw will retract. The Eternity Devil laughed at Denji, stating that the chainsaw had become weaker due to loss of blood. Denji's chainsaw arms retract, but he bites the Eternity Devil and drinks its blood. He notes that even bad-tasting blood tastes good when he sees the agony of the devil.
Blood might be the grossest thing I've ever swallowed, but hearing your shrieks and seeing you bent all out of shape makes this shit as sweet as strawberry jam!
Seeing Denji's crazy fight, Himeno recalls a conversation with Kishibe at Sahara's grave. Kishibe tells her that devils fear devil hunters with a few screws loose. Sahara was quite sane, which is why he died. The same is true with Kino Shai, Subaru, and Sosaki. The same people fear the devil's attack, and that fear makes the devil stronger. Kishibe asks if Aki is also sane, but Himeno states that no sane person will try killing the gun devil. Later, Himeno asks Aki if he wants to become a civilian devil hunter with her. She explains she got a good offer, and they can keep their lifestyle. Aki is fine with continuing to meet up, but he is not interested in being a civilian devil hunter. Himeno is sure that if Aki fights the gun devil, he will die because he's cool, gentle, and normal like everyone else. The Eternity Devil knocks Denji down and believes it won. Himeno pulls his cord with her ghostly devil arm.
But this guy right here?
Eureka! Fountains of blood explode from you with every slice. I chug it like it's soda and I'm good as new. I could do this for fucking ever! With such a dope concept that Nobel Prize is mine!
Denji then stands up and states that he has an idea. If he keeps cutting him and drinking his blood, then that's a perpetual motion machine. Seeing how crazy Denji is, Himeno starts to believe he may be able to kill the gun devil. 3 days later, Denji still fights the Eternity Devil. Himeno lies with Aki in bed, telling him that it's over. The Eternity Devil exposes his weakness, saying it's his heart, and asks Denji to kill it as it no longer can bear the pain. Denji's surprised that it's already over, but he cuts the devil and kills him. The devil hunters leave the hotel. Denji holds the gun devil's piece, As he feels good, he ends up falling, but Himeno captures him and realizes he fell asleep. Himeno states that they will take Aki and Denji to the hospital in Koben, and Arai should report to the sector. Sometime later, Himeno speaks with Aki and wants to have a newbie welcome party. She explains that Division 4 has never gathered together before and can use it to bond together. They may also be able to solve the problem of Koben and Arai wanting to leave. Not only do they fear the devils, but they also likely regret that they tried to kill Denji. Aki states that if they are doing it, it has to be this week since he wants to invite Makima too, who will be going on a work trip next week. Himeno wonders what Denji is, as the devil seems to know something about him. She also wonders why Makima cares so much about Denji. Usually Makima travels a lot, but lately she's staying in Tokyo, and Himeno wonders if it's because of Denji and if she knows his secret. Division 4 gathers for a drink. Aki knows that Fushi didn't bring his fiend, but Fushi states that it's not that rational, like power. Koben arrives a bit late, and Makima said she will come later. While looking at the menu, Denji recalls his promised kiss from Himeno, and she states she will give him one when she gets a bit more drunk. The newbies introduced themselves, and Denji revealed he is 16 and loves eating and sleeping. Hero Kaiser revealed he is 22 years old. He has a contract with the Fox Devil, and his hobby is haiku. Denji notes that he has the same devil contract as Aki, who explains that the Fox Devil is friendly with humans and has lots of contracts with devil hunters. Himeno adds that only handsome people can use the fox's devil's head. Koben then introduces herself, being 20 but her devil's contract is a secret. She also likes eating tasty food. They ask Fushi where his newbie was, and Fushi revealed that he died yesterday. They proceed to explain that the devils that can't be handled by the civilian devil hunters are beyond the public's safety, and people die easily. Himeno states that Denji won't die as he's waiting for a kiss from her. Another member explains that Himeno has kissed everyone except the newbies, and for sure she will kiss them too. Denji gets excited. He will be getting a guaranteed kiss. Makima shows up, overhears Denji, and wonders if he will be kissing anyone. Denji then denies it. Himeno then wonders if he no longer wants her kiss, but Denji states he does want it. Denji is then torn, not wanting Makima to see him kiss Himeno, but he really wants a French kiss for Himeno. He decides to change the subject and tells Makima that he found a gun piece in the devils, but she had heard about it already. Aki adds that more devils with guns are appearing and targeting Denji. He wonders if Makima knows something about Denji. Makima states that she will tell him if he can outdrink her. Himeno decides to join them, and the three start drinking beer after beer. One of the members is impressed that Power can suppress her violent urges. Power states that it is because she has a very high IQ. The member is surprised that's the reason and wonders what her IQ is. Power states it's 100, but as one member says, she has the same. Power then changes her IQ to be 120. The member says that Fushi has a high IQ, and he reveals that it's 134. Power then says that her IQ is 500 or 1000. Himeno then turns and starts kissing Denji. He gets excited, feeling her tongue, but then feels something else. He then realizes that Himeno is throwing up in his mouth. Everyone sees them and starts to laugh. Power adds that Denji has the habit of swallowing anything with nutrition in his mouth, and in that moment, Denji ends up swallowing the vomit. Denji recalls his young days while looking at the trash cans for food. As he eats anything he finds, he sees some rats eating and some drunk guys vomiting and laughs, saying, "It must be quite shameful." Denji is vomiting in the bathroom. Arai is helping him and says that he's good at helping because his mother gets drunk each day after work. His envy of Denji is unlike him. Arai has no talent for being a devil hunter. Denji tells him to look at him as his first kiss was with vomit, and there should be no envy. After the meeting, Himeno takes Denji, as he's unable to walk home. Himeno takes Denji to her place and puts him on her bed. She then goes to take a shower, and after that, she opens a beer. She hears Denji waking up and asking for water, and she goes and gives him beer with her mouth. Himeno then wonders, why is Denji there? Did she bring him home? She guesses that Denji loves Makima and is a little annoyed, as Aki also loves her. She lies next to Denji and tells him they should do it. Denji wonders what she means, and Himeno states that it's sex. She tells him to raise his hands and starts taking off his shirt. Denji wonders if that is really okay as his first kiss was supposed to be with Makima but he gave it to Himeno, who vomited in his mouth, and if he wants his first kiss to be taken by Himeno too. But he decides to see for himself. Himeno proceeds to take off his pants but finds lollipops in his pocket. Seeing the lollipops, Denji recalls a bit earlier when he wasn't feeling well due to the vomit and Makima told him to go outside for some fresh air. Makima then brought him some nausea medicine. Denji shares that he had a bad first kiss, and even if he kissed a different woman, now he will be thinking of the taste of vomit. Makima was licking the lollipops when she pulled them out and put them in Denji's mouth. She tells him that he probably won't forget the taste of vomit, but he will experience all kinds of first tastes, and for example, his first indirect kiss tastes like a cold-flavored lollipops. Himeno has fallen asleep while Denji is lying on the ground next to the bed. He looks at the lollipops and apologizes to Pochita, but states he wants to save his first time for Makima. In the morning, Himeno wakes up Denji, and while they eat breakfast, she explains she doesn't remember anything from last night and wonders if she did anything to Denji. He tells her that he won't do it with a vomit lady and is saving his first time for Makima. Himeno is glad, as otherwise she could be arrested for doing it with a minor. After a moment, she adds that Denji is strange, and most people would have felt uncomfortable and left by now, but Denji doesn't understand why he would leave when there's free food. Himeno guesses that he loves Makima and wonders if he will still love her even if she has a bad personality. Denji doesn't care, so Himeno decides to help him and set him up with her. Himeno offers a secret alliance. She will help him with Makima while Denji helps her with Aki. Denji agrees, and Himeno states they are no longer seniors and juniors but friends. She tells him he can come sometimes for breakfast with Aki and Power, but Denji wonders if Makima would come too. Makima is on the train heading to Kyoto to meet with her bosses. She doesn't really want to meet them, as she finds them scary and wants to buy a lunchbox. In a tunnel a bit before Kyoto, the men sitting in front and behind Makima pull out guns and shoot her along with her assistant. The men make a call and state that they can start the operation. Division 4 members are all out on different missions, but then all of them get attacked. Denji, Himeno, Aki, and Power are eating at a ramen shop. Denji hears some gunshots, but Power states it was drums. A man can't believe Denji is eating ramen freely and wonders if it doesn't taste terrible. Denji states that it tastes fine to him, but the man adds that he can't judge the taste of food. He guesses that's understandable, as he only ate the same thing as a child. The man adds that his grandpa was the nicest person and brought him to fancy restaurants all the time. He was a yakuza, but he was a necessary evil and only killed a few women and children. The man then pulls out a picture of him and his grandpa, who is the yakuza that was hiring Denji as a devil hunter. He explains that the gun devil wants Denji's hot, then pulls out a gun and shoots Denji in the head. He proceeds to shoot at the others, but Power pinches him. And Aki uses the fox devil against the man. Aki looks around and sees that Denji and Himeno are shot. The fox devil tells Aki that he put something monstrous in her mouth, which is neither human nor a devil. The man then transformed similarly to Denji but with swords instead of chainsaws, opened the fox devil's head and came out.
悪魔でもない。
Aki pulls out his sword and tells Power to stop Himeno from bleeding. Power is surprised to see that Aki's sword is actually a large nail. As the katana man stands, Aki pierces him with his sword, and a devil states 3. They start fighting.
So.
And Aki pierces him a second time with the devil, saying 2. He immediately pierced him one more time, with the devil saying 1. The man pushes Aki away, having had enough of him, but Aki then asks the cursed devil to kill him. The cursed devil then says it's 0 and appears, grabbing the man and killing him.
Zero.
wonders how Himeno and Power are, and she needs to be taken to the hospital. Aki adds that only police officers and devil hunters can have guns in Japan. A woman then shows up, guessing that if Aki runs his nail through someone a few times, the curse of the devil will kill him. Aki wonders from where she came and if she is an ally of the man. She places her hand on Katana Man and makes him stand up. She wonders how he lost, and Katana Man states he let his guard down. She tells him to go and kill.
さっさと殺して。
Katana Man then takes a stance and, in an instant, moves past Aki while slashing him. As Aki is still alive, she tells Katana Man to finish him off. Himeno tells Power to help Aki, but Power refuses, as she couldn't even see Kaiten's attack. Himeno calls the ghost devil, but the devil states that the woman is scary. Himeno spits some blood, guessing that this is her end. She offers to give all of herself to the ghost devil if she can use the whole ghost devil. The ghost devil accepts and fully appears, and then engages Katana Man in a fight. Himeno states that the devil hunters get used to death and stop crying, but Aki always cries when his newbies die, and it must be a good feeling to have someone care for you and cry for you. Himeno loses both arms, but the ghost devil overpowers Katana Man. Himeno tells Aki to not die, and when she dies, she hopes that he can cry for her. Katana Man asks for help, and the woman calls the snake devil, who bites off the ghost devil's head. The ghost devil is defeated, and Aki turns towards Himeno but sees that only her clothes remain. Akane uses the snake devil to kill the ghost devil. Katana Man tells her that they ran away, but she tells him that their target is Chainsaw's heart, so they don't need to go after them. A hand from the ghost devil then goes and pulls Denji's cord, revving his chainsaw. Denji turns into Chainsaw Man and guesses that they are bad guys, noting that he loves bad guys when he kills them. No one is complaining. Denji then jumps and engages Katana Man in a fight. Akane reports that they are in combat with Chainsaw on the 3rd floor of the West Norima building and requests backup. Katana Man and Denji fight and seem equally matched. Two men arrive to support Katana Man, and he told them to shoot at his arms or legs. However, Denji knocks them down before they are able to shoot at him. One of the men still manages to shoot at Denji, and Denji takes him as a hostage, telling Katana Man to not move or he will kill the man. Katana Man then kneels in his attack stance and, in an instant, cuts Denji and his comrade in half. Katana Man then picks up Denji by the handle on his head and turns to normal, stating that his devil hunter friend should be dead by now as they can't win against guns. Elsewhere, Arai, Fushi, and other Division 4 members, including Makima, have been shot dead. Makima's train almost reaches Kyoto, and the men who shot her prepared to blend with the crowds. However, Makima then stands up. At the Kyoto train station, Yutaro Kurose and Michiko Tendo are waiting for the train. A man approaches them and informs them that they have received word that Special Division 1, 2, 3, and 4 were ambushed in Tokyo. Yutaro and Michiko wonder about Makima and if they waited for nothing. The train stops and people run out, scared. Makima then comes out and tells them there was gunfire in the train and bodies needed to be cleaned up. Since Makima is covered in blood, they wonder if she was shot, but she denies it and states that it's not her blood. Inside the train, her attackers are all dead. Yutaro and Michiko tell Makima about the Tokyo situation and wonder if she should get back, but Makima explains they won't make it in time and that they are likely after Denji. She decides to deal with the situation in Kyoto and asks Yutaro to bring 30 convicts serving a life sentence or worse. Makima then asks Michiko to rent out a nearby shrine at the highest altitude possible and to get her some clean clothes. The convicts are gathered and given food while being transported. They wonder where they are going, but are told to keep quiet. At the shrine, Makima changes into new clothes. Michiko informs her that the convicts are almost here, and moments later the convicts are dropped at the bottom of the stairs leading to the shrine. Katana Man tells Akane that he won't be able to fight for a while. Some of his comrades are carrying Denji. One of them sees a crow and then starts saying something feels strange as they wonder what he means. The man is crushed to death. Akane immediately calls Timi and asks that Team C reconfirm that Makima is dead. The Timi member tells her that he is unable to contact Team C for a while, and in that moment, he also ends up being crushed to death. At the shrine, Makima has Michiko, Yutaro, and the convicts in blindfolds. Yutaro wonders why they need blindfolds, and Michiko states that Makima reports directly to the chief cabinet secretary, and ordinary devil hunters aren't authorized to know which devils she has contracts with. Makima walks to one of the convicts and tells him to repeat Shuzo Mishima. As the convicts repeat the name, Makima makes hand signs, and Katana Man tells his comrade Mishima to get Denji in the car. However, as Makima finishes her hand signs, Mishima gets crushed to death, and the convict also dies. Makima then moves to another convict, asking him to say Takoshi Oni. The man repeats it, and Makima crushes to death another comrade of Katana Man. The rest of Katana Man's comrades panic and start running, but Makima kills them one by one. She leaves Katana Man and Kane alive and tells Michiko and Yutaro to remove their blindfolds. As they do, they see that all the convicts are dead. Makima explains that she did what she could from here, and now it's up to Tokyo members. Akane guesses the killings were done by Makima, Katana Man, and Akane, then sees Kobin in the distance. Earlier, a grandmother shot Arai in the neck from behind. Arai then turns and gets shot in the head by her, a bullet that was aimed at Kobin, holding a knife in anger. Kobin guesses that they are the shooters. Sacrificing a nail, Akane summons the snake devil's tail. However, Kobin dodges it and starts running on the snake devil's back. Katana Man starts shooting at her, but she gets close and cuts off his arm. Kobin then takes the gun and shoots Katana Man in the back. Akane picks up a gun too, but Kobin runs and picks up Denji and uses him as a shield. Akane then pulls Katana Man into the van and leaves with him. Holding Denji, Kobin apologizes for trying to kill him the last time. She laughs and cries, recalling Arai's death and how she got close to the grandmother and killed her using her own gun. Kobin states that Arai protected her and blames herself for his death. Kobin feels the job is making her go crazy and states that when she meets Himeno, she will tell her that she quits. Makima, Michiko, and Yutaro arrive in Tokyo and meet Madoka at the station. Makima is glad that he's alive and asks how many survived. Madoka explains that Special Divisions 1, 2, 3, and 4 came under fire, and almost all humans died. Madoka got an order from the superiors that, due to a personnel shortage, all 4 Special Divisions would merge into one, and Tokyo's Special Division 4 would now be under Makima's control. Madoka then hands her a letter stating that it's his resignation, that it's getting sinister in the Special Division, and that it's either quit or die. Before Makima leaves, Madoka wants to ask her one final question and asks how much of this was anticipated by her. Makima states she can't discuss public safety's internal affairs with civilians and thanks him for his service. Yutaro and Michiko state they are not there to join her division and are just there as advisors and will be back to Kyoto in 1 week. Makima states, "It's a shame as there are many great restaurants in Tokyo." Aki wakes up in a hospital bed and sees Denji and Power sitting next to him and reading manga. Power sees Denji eating an apple and demands that she eat it, but Denji refuses to give it to her, stating that she ran away and doesn't deserve it. Power lies, saying that she was hungry and that's why she left, but Denji doesn't believe her, and they continue arguing. Aki asked them who else survived from Division 4, and Denji revealed that Kobin survived, as did the guy with glasses, but he quit. Denji explains that Makima called for him and Power, and they will be splitting up with Aki. Before leaving, Denji takes the basket with apples but decides to leave one for Aki. After that, Aki takes his sword and asks Cursed Devil how many years he has left, and Cursed Devil tells him that he has 2 years left. Aki takes a cigarette, and as he uses the lighter, he remembers Himeno and starts crying. Denji had forgotten his manga and returned to get it, but found Aki crying. He understands why, as he lost many friends, including Himeno. Denji wonders why he doesn't cry for her. He was sad when Pochita died. Himeno was the first to offer to be friends with him. He doesn't feel sad for her. Denji wonders if he will cry if Power dies, but his guess is no for either her or Aki. He then thinks of Makima but guesses that if she dies, he will feel down for a few days but then continue with his happy life. Denji then wonders if he has lost his human heart, but moments later decides not to think about serious stuff. After Denji and Power leave, Michiko and Yutaro visit Aki and introduce themselves as advisors who came per Makima's request. Denji and Power meet up with Makima at the cemetery. She tells them that the hotel incident and the recent attack prove that they are after Denji. Denji wonders if Makima will train them. However, Makima explains that she is quite busy and will be introducing them to someone perfect for the job. She takes them to Himeno's master, Kishibe, but before revealing his name, he wants to ask them a few questions first. Kishibe then asks Denji and Power how they felt when their teammates died and if they want revenge. Denji and Power state they didn't think much of it and are not interested in revenge. Kishibe asks them if they were on the human side or the devil's side. Denji states he's on the side that takes care of him, while Power states she's on the side of whoever is winning. Kishibe states that they scored perfectly and that there are not many of their type. He tells Makima to leave as their training is starting. Kishibe states he is a devil hunter from Division 1, and they can call him Master. He likes booze, women, and killing devils. He hugs them and snaps their necks, leaving them unable to move. He explains that they have the same bodies as humans, but they can recover by drinking blood. After he gives them blood and they recover, Denji wonders why he did that. Kishibe explains that Makima asked him to train them because, for some reason, the gun devil wants Denji's heart, and Makima is worried that Denji is quite weak. He has been training humans, but now he must train devils. His drunk self then came up with an idea. Since he is the strongest devil hunter, the devil that defeats him must be the strongest too. He will keep hunting Denji and Power until they defeat him. Denji and Power believe he is crazy, but as Kishibe comes at them, Power creates a blood hammer and gives it to Denji.
Arrest us if we kill him.
Denji.
However, in just a moment, Kishibe stabs Denji several times and cuts Power's throat. He knows that Denji is immortal while Power is semi-immortal, and all they think about is bashing someone's head. He always wanted a toy he couldn't break and intends to turn them into the best. At the hospital, Aki tries to call the Fox Devil, but it won't show up. Yutaro states it's because he abused the devil's power and got on its bad side. Yutaro also states that he can use the Cursed Devil a few more times. Aki then realizes why they are there, and the two explain that they do career coaching and wonder if Aki is considering quitting after the incident. It's fine if he wishes to continue, but he needs to be more prepared and make a contract with a stronger devil. Aki states that the one who killed his family and the one who killed his friends are still alive, so he can't quit. The two then leave, stating that they will be back tomorrow with some paperwork. A woman then enters, surprising Aki. At night, Kishibe tells Beat-Up Denji and Power that he is leaving and will meet them tomorrow at their place. Denji falls to the ground and starts making noises while zoning out. Power realizes his brain is broken again and starts hitting him in the head, telling him to come back. Denji comes to his senses and asks Power how many times has he been killed today. Power guesses at least 20 times, but she also went unconscious after him, so she isn't entirely sure. While going home, Denji doesn't feel happy if he has to live like that. Power suggests they run, but Denji states the public's safety will hunt them if they do. Denji is annoyed at how strong Kishibe is. Power then states she got an idea. She states that his brain is rotten due to the alcohol, and they should use their brains to fight him. Denji likes the idea of wanting to be like the smart characters in a manga. The two then decide to kill him with their intellect, feeling smarter already. The next day, Power and Denji wear glasses to look smarter and wait for Kishibe as he comes. Right before opening the door, Power and Denji start their super smart operation.
Let the cerebral warfare commence.
Nice blood weapon. Aimed straight in my head, too. So it's an ambush, is it? A role reversal of the hunter and the hunted.
And Power throws a blood spear through the door, but Kishibe evades. Having prepared bottles of blood, Power turns them to spears, coming for Kishibe from above, but he again evades. Kishibe breaks all the spears, and Denji comes from above, attempting to hit him with an axe. However, an instant later, Kishibe turns and kicks Denji, knocking off his glasses and Denji. Kishibe notes this was their best attempt, and they should use their brains more. They failed for 2 reasons. Power used too much blood and made herself anemic. And 2, Denji failed to predict Kishibe's attack. Kishibe then congratulates them for the try and adds that they are done for today. Denji tells Power about it, and she feels lucky, as Denji attempts to stand.
But all in all, a good try. So let's call it. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Hey, Powie. He said we're done for today.
Yes.
What?
Beast should know better than to trust anything a hunter says to him.
Kishibe throws a knife at his head, stating that prey shouldn't trust the hunter. Michiko and Yutaro take Aki to a special facility, explaining that making a contract with a strong devil will mean the contract should be brutal too. They walk through some cells, and Yutaro explains that this is where public safety locks up the devils they capture. Yutaro then recalls seeing the girl who entered Aki's room after them and wonders if she is his girlfriend. Aki explains to his teammates that that's her sister. Yutaro wonders if she hit Aki. Aki denies it and explains that she gave him letters that her sister had sent him, and she believes Aki should read them too. Reading them, Aki sees that Himeno is wondering how to make Aki quit. They take him to cell 108, noting that they want Aki to make a contract with the devil. Inside the future devil, he reveals that 2 people have contracts with him. One gave half of their lifespan, while the other gave it their eyes, senses of taste, and smell. Aki then enters the cell and faces the future devil. Aki enters the cell of the future devil, who keeps repeating the future rules and wants Aki to say them too. However, Aki ignores him and explains that he is there to form a contract with him and ask him what he wants in return. Future devil notes that Aki has a bad attitude. He wants to see Aki's future and then decide if he wants to form a contract. He tells Aki to stick his head into his gut. Aki is surprised but still sticks his head out. After a few moments, the future devil laughs and states that he wants to live in his right eye and that he will grant him his power. The future devil states that Aki's face is asking if that's all and explains that it's because Aki's death in the future will be brutal. He starts telling him how he will die, but Aki stops him, not wanting to listen, and tells him to enter his eye. Kishibe beats Denji and Power once again. He congratulates them on their try and notes they no longer need to do this each day, but once a week he tells them to keep their heads cool and not forget what weapons they have. Kishibe then explains that they will be doing live combat training as they will be attacking the Snake Devil, Ghost Devil, and Katana Man. Everyone from the new Division 4 will be involved, but if they fail, the division will be dissolved, and Denji and Power will be disposed of for real by Kishibe. Denji states that if it comes to that, he will show mercy and spare Kishibe's life, as he made him stronger. Later, Kishibe meets with Makima, who hopes that he will continue to train Denji and Power. Kishibe states that he is tired of them already and that each time he trains someone who ends up dying, he ends up drinking more. He guessed that wouldn't happen to toys, but he guesses that due to his age, he even starts to get attached. Kishibe is sure that public safety wasn't clueless about the attack on the divisions and asks Makima if she knew about it. He says he doesn't care about her plans or how many of his dogs die as long as she is serving mankind's interests. Makima states she wants to save as many people as possible from the devils, and if the operation is a success, Division 4's existence will become part of the public record. That way, they will have more freedom and be able to save more people. Kishibe then calls her a liar. Katana Man and Akane are in their hideout with their team. Akane mentions that even if they run, there is no place that is safe from Makima. She tells the other men that even if Katana Man dies, he can be brought back to life, but the rest of the men need to be careful not to get bitten. They wonder what she means, and Katana Man explains that they have a secret weapon left by his grandfather and that below them there is an army of zombies made by people who couldn't pay their debt. Yutaro hears that Aki is after the gun devil and asks him if he really believes he can take him down, considering he just lost to another person. Yutaro reveals that he too joined public safety due to a beef with the gun devil, but he isn't trying to kill him as it's impossible. Looking at Aki makes Yutaro mad as he finds him really weak, but Aki acts like he's someone big. Aki doesn't care what they say and tells him to sit back and watch, and if he ends up dead, they can laugh at him. After dropping Aki off at the public safety office, Yutaro gives him a drink and states that even if he makes him mad, he's still rooting for him. He gives him advice. and when he hears that everyone in this special division is crazy, he must watch for himself. Makima meets with the current Yakuza boss that Katana Man belongs to. He explains that he heard they got into a fight with some of the younger members in his group, but assures her it wasn't on his orders. He shows a picture of a cane and explains that he heard she was behind it and got them into deals with the Gun Devil. Makima wonders what kind of deal the man made, and the man explains that they owe 20,000 yen to the Gun Devil, and in exchange they receive guns and ammo. Makima then asks him to write down the names of everyone in his organization that has a contract with the Gun Devil. The man agrees, thinking that she will just throw them in jail for some time. Makima also wants the names of other families, not just his organization. The man states that that is stupid, as if the other families find out, it will mean war between the families. The man asks Makima if she has heard of the term necessary evil and explains that if they end up wiping themselves out, it will open Japan to foreign mafia. And the Chinese and Russian mafia are even worse than them, and they are currently keeping those foreigners away. Makima then brings out a paper bag, and the man jokes that a bribe won't change his mind. Makima explains it's not money but things belonging to the families of all the men in the room, and it's the eyes of their lovers, wives, grandparents, siblings, and other relatives. The man checks the bag and is shocked to see it full of eyes. Makima explains that they have someone who can return the eyes without problem, and if he cooperates, she will introduce him to that person. One of the men grabs Makima by the shoulder, wanting to punch her, but as she stares at him, he stops, his nose starts bleeding, and then he falls to his knees. Makima states that he uses necessary evil as an excuse for his actions, but society doesn't need his excuses. The special division and the police surround the hideout of Katana Man. Aki wonders what is the plan, but Kishibe states that there is no plan. They just enter. Aki, Denji, Power, and Koban then enter. Shina and Furuno introduces himself to Kishibe, but he says that the police and Division 2 just need to keep the entrances to the first floor and basement sealed off, while the Special Division will take out the terrorists. He also explains that the Special Division is made almost entirely of non-humans, and if one of them escapes, it can cause more casualties than the terrorists. Kishibe then explains the members so that they know who they may need to engage. Beam Shark Fiend enters the first floor through the wall.
Zombie! Zombie!
サメの魔人、壁の中や地面、どんな場所でも泳ぐことができる。こいつは短い間なら悪魔の姿にもなれる。
And seeing these zombies, he gets excited about how much he can eat. Kishibe explained that he can swim inside any surface and can transform his head into his devil form for a few moments. Beam is eating zombies and tries to bite a hooded man but gets kicked. He then apologizes to Golgoli, the violent fiend, explaining he had mistaken him for a zombie. Kishibe explains that devils become weaker when they become fiends, but even as a fiend, the violence fiend is quite strong.
暴力の魔人。本来魔人になると悪魔の時よりも弱くなるが、こいつは魔人でも強すぎるから毒が出る仮面をつけさせている。何があってもこいつの仮面は取るな。
He wears a gas mask that dispenses poison gas, and it must stay on no matter what. As Golgoli beats up some zombies, he sees a woman and tells her to leave, before she gets bitten and turns into a zombie. As she turns towards him, he realizes she's a devil too. Princi, the spider devil Kishibe.
雲の悪魔。普段は人間のような形をしている。人の姿に近い悪魔は人に友好的だが、悪魔は悪魔だ。感触で人を殺すぞ。
Time she assumes a human form and that humanoid devils tend to be friendly. Princi turns into her devil form and starts killing zombies. A zombie head then rolls.
うわ、靴汚れた。こいつ最悪。
天使の悪魔。こいつは特殊な悪魔で人に敵意はないが近づくな。触れると寿命を吸い取られるからな。
And hits the leg of Angel Devil, who gets annoyed that it dirty his shoe. then picks up the head and starts eating it. Kishibe explains that he's a special case and has no enmity towards humans, but they need to stay away from him as physical contact drains their lifespan. Angel asks Aki if he has a handkerchief he can borrow. Aki then gets close and gives him a handkerchief, which surprises Angel that he came that close. A man then shows up and tries to shoot Aki, but Angel Devil uses his wing to protect him. Aki then runs and knocks out the man, telling Angel to take the man outside. Angel is annoyed that he got ordered but prefers it than having to fight. Aki then tells Denji, Power, and Koban to leave these zombies to the fiends, as they will be going after Katana Man and Akane, but as they don't know where they are, they will be splitting up. Aki goes to the 4th floor, where a man comes out of one of the rooms and tries to shoot him. Aki dodges and then knocks out the man. 4 more men then come out, and Aki prepares to fight them, but one by one, the men start bleeding from their noses and collapse. Aki continues to search and eventually finds Akane. He tells her to quietly come with him. However, Akane summons the snake devil, telling it to spit it out. The ghost devil then appears in front of Aki, and Akane orders it to kill Aki. The ghost devil attacks, and Aki starts cutting his arms one by one using the future devil's power, which lets him peek a bit into the future. He still gets overwhelmed by the hands, and the ghost devil manages to grab him by the neck. Akane then orders the devil to choke him to death. While the ghost devil chokes Aki, he recalls a time when he was with Himeno. She tries making him smoke, and Aki finally accepts a cigarette, but he notes she is terrible for making a minor smoke. Learning he is a minor, Himeno understands why he can't smoke and takes back her cigarette. She tells him that she will keep it and give it to him when he has grown up and needs something to take the edge off. Ghost devil releases Aki. It extends one of its hands and gives him a cigarette. Aki takes the cigarette and sees Easy Revenge written on it. Aki then puts the cigarette in his pocket. He stands up, takes his sword, and walks towards the devil. He recalls that Himeno told him that since the ghost devil doesn't have eyes and can only see fear, he gets on the devil and prepares to cut its head. He tells Himeno that he will soon join her and then cuts off the ghost devil's head. Akane is surprised. She starts calling the snake devil but stops as Koban puts her knife on her throat. However, Aki tells Koban not to kill her. Aki then asks Koban why she remained in public safety, and Koban explains that they will soon be getting bonus payments. In the elevator, Denji sees Power eating a zombie's arm and finds it gross. Power states that meat is meat and that pork, beef, and humans are all the same, but Denji disagrees. The two started to fight. Denji states their job is to capture Katana Man, and it would be good if Power didn't eat him. The elevator doors then open on the 7th floor, and they see a group of zombies in front of them. Denji tells Power that these zombies haven't noticed them, and they shouldn't make loud noises. Power grins and yells her name, challenging these zombies to a fight. She tells Denji to follow her and cover her back. However, Denji decides to remain in the elevator as the door closes, leaving Power to fight these zombies alone. Power fights these zombies, believing that Denji is behind her and will tell the tale of how powerful she is. Denji reaches the 13th floor, and as the doors open, he sees Katana Man with 2 of his men. Katana Man wants to talk and explains that depending on Denji's attitude, they are willing to surrender. He explains that Denji killed his grandfather and his men's friends, and they want him to pay for that. Denji explains that he did it because they turned into zombies. Katana Man doesn't believe it but states that even if it were true, they were once humans and wonders if Denji feels guilty for killing them. However, Denji denies it. Katana Man then explains that a kind made some changes to him and replaced his heart with a katana devil. However, he couldn't sleep when he accidentally killed a zombie. He thinks that Denji lost his human heart, and if he has any semblance of a human conscience left, you should let them kill him. Denji thinks for a moment but refuses the deal. An angry Katana Man then states he will kill him, and the two transform. Katana Man attacks Denji, and they fly off the building into the roof of a nearby building. They fight from rooftop to rooftop until Denji falls on the train. Katana Man jumps on it too and states that Denji has become faster, and he wonders what he is fighting for. Denji states that it's to protect the life he has now. They keep on fighting and eventually fall inside the train, which stops due to the commotion they cause. Katana Man takes a stance that Denji recognizes. He tries to stop Katana Man, but Katana Man doesn't stop and cuts Denji's arm.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Dude.
That move's banned starting now!
You wish.
He then takes the stance once more and cuts Denji's other arm. Katana Man then states that Denji can no longer fight and asks him before he dies to apologize for killing his grandfather. Denji stands up, stating he can still fight as he has a chainsaw on his head. He rushes at Katana Man, who takes again his stance as the two exchange blows. Katana Man then asks Denji if his grandfather didn't teach him when to quit. In that moment, Denji's head chainsaw breaks. He asked him once again to apologize for his grandfather. Denji states he aimed as expected at his head, but that was stupid. In that moment, Katana Man splits in two.
Didn't that rotten old geezer ever teach ya? He should know better than to trust what a hunter says! Should've gone for the legs, sucker!
Denji then asks Katana Man if his grandfather didn't teach him that a beast should never trust a hunter. As Katana Man falls in two, Denji reveals he turned his right leg into a chainsaw. Katana Man soon awakens, finding himself tied up with a chainsaw chained to the train. Denji adds that Katana Man is the same as him, and when he pulled off his katana, he turned back into one piece. Denji states he needs to wait until the police come, but there is something he's upset about. He killed Himeno because of that. There is one less pretty girl in the world. However, he will live his life in prison without regret. Denji doesn't find that fair, and Katana Man tells him he can't do anything about it as he is public safety's dog. Thinking a bit, Denji states he will be holding a tournament. Aki shows up, wondering what he means by tournament. Aki reports to the rest that Katana Man is under control and explains their location. Denji asks Aki if he wants to participate in his ultimate tournament. Denji explains that Katana Man shot Himeno, so they should give him nut shots. They will be taking turns hitting his balls, and whoever gets the loudest scream out of him before the cops show up is the winner. Aki stated that their job is to capture him and not torture him to feel good, as that won't make Himeno happy. Aki takes out the cigarette he got from Ghost Devil and looks at it for a moment. He puts it back in his pocket and asks Denji what he gets if he wins. Denji states he will naturally get his balls. Katana Man can't believe it and asks them to stop. As they approach him, the two then start kicking Katana Man, wondering if Himeno can hear their requiem for her. Makima reports that the terrorist attack was instigated by a former civilian devil hunter, Akane Sawatari. She made a contract with Gun Devil and distributed guns to the Yakuza. And in return, the Yakuza explained that Akane wanted the chainsaw's heart. Her superior wonders why she wanted his heart. Makima explains that before they could learn, the Snake Devil killed Akane. It was probably an involuntary suicide because of her contract with the Gun Devil. He also sees 4 kilograms of Gun Devil flesh from the building, and when they combine it with 5 kilograms, the new large piece finally starts to move towards the Gun Devil itself. Makima's superior then wonders to where. Sometime after that, after dinner, Aki goes on his balcony and smokes. He takes out his cigarette, which ends up being the one with the easy revenge writing. He looks at it for a moment, then lights it up and smokes it. Denji dreams of being younger, and in the back alley, he sees a door and faces it. He notes that he has been dreaming about this multiple times but always forgets the dream. After that, he hears Pochita's voice from behind the door and wants to open it so that he can touch him again. Pochita stops him, telling him to never open the door. Thank you for watching Unruly Family.
Take you